While visiting India, there could be a dozen confusing gestures that you notice. Here are a few of them explained so that your stroll on the Indian street becomes easier. The what, where, how gesture. This is probably the most common hand gesture you will find. It looks something like this. The palm twists with the fingers pointing at all directions. The following are the scenarios the gesture is used to communicate almost any situation where you have to use what. What happened? What nonsense? What are you talking about? What is the meaning of life? To communicate situations that are inquiries or situations where is used. Where are you going? Where is it? Where is this world heading? At markets where you have to inquire about prices. How much is it for? Here is how the gesture can be used in all the contexts at once.
Yeah, how much? Sir, 25 rupees.
What kind of price is that? Where are you going with all this money? The come here gesture. You may often see people doing this. It's the most common gesture used to call someone to come to you. The fingers, except the thumb, are folded and straightened twice in succession. It's almost like using the fingers to scratch the air. There are a few variations of this gesture. A milder form of the gesture, with the hands closer to the face, is used to call someone without the bystanders noticing it. Young lovers romancing in secret are typical examples. A louder version, in which the hand takes a longer swing, denotes an excited invitation. It could be used when you see a close friend of yours after a long time. Hey, but you don't have any friends, no?
Just acting.
A continuous and vigorous version could be a panic call to someone to show something that won't last long, like an intimate scene in a Bollywood film. The Namaste light. Everyone by now knows how Namaste is performed. The lesser known fact about Namaste is that it's considered to be an extremely formal form of greeting. By merely looking at this man here, you may be able to sense the amount of effort it takes to perform a Namaste. To tackle this issue, India came up with what we call as half Namaste. How is it performed? You raise your right hand to the level of your mouth, with the middle finger in line with the tip of your nose. You raise your hand and look into the eyes of the other person. Once he acknowledges, you put your hand down. If the person ignores you, then you will have to quickly adapt to the situation. And trust us, there are a lot of creative ways to tackle this. The convenience of half Namaste lies in the fact that you can do it much quicker than an actual Namaste. Also, you can do it in quick succession, unlike Namaste. If you want to be more respectful, you can bow your head a bit along with the half Namaste. The forehead slap. You may not see this one that often. It's the Indian equivalent of a face palm. You use your hand to slap your forehead. In one word, the gesture communicates only one thing: disappointment. For example, this is how an Indian father would react while seeing his son's poor performance at academics. A more intense version of the forehead slap is when, after the slap, the person sways his head to the sides for some time. For example, this is how an Indian father would react to his son's progress card when he realizes that his son has failed while his neighbor's son has passed the exam. The swaying of the head denotes disappointment at its maximum. It's known to emanate invisible waves of worthlessness at the person it's addressed to. The nothing gesture. Hey, how's your life going? The response you just watched is the nothing gesture. It conveys that there's absolutely nothing at all to respond about the question you asked. It's done with the hand facing the questioner and the fingers thrusting out in quick succession. It can also imply meanings like useless, waste of time, etc. Here are some contexts where the gesture can be used. Hey, how did your last video perform? How many views did you get? Are your subscribers happy with your content? Yeah, thought so. The slap gesture. First of all, this is an aggressive Indian gesture. You basically mimic a slap or a whack on the face of someone. It's performed with an open palm and a quick raising of the arm. With added facial expression, it reaches completeness. The gesture literally means you deserve a slap now. There are certain variations to this gesture too. The gesture is commonly used by people who pretend they are ready for a fight but are actually scared on the inside. Instead of putting the hand down in a split second, they sustain the raised hand pause while shouting exaggerated threats. In most cases, the person goes home after the opposition gifts him with an actual slap. An actual intense version of this gesture is when the person raises the hand without taking a swing, simply moves it up and down while looking at the opponent. It means business. The deadpan face mostly indicates that this is not merely a threat and that the chances of your cheeks turning red is really high. There are also those who make out dance steps out of this gesture. In timely intervals, they repeat the gesture with varying facial expressions. It could also be an evasive tactic if they realize that they have ran out of dialogues to deliver. The right hand obsession. In India, the right hand is considered as a go-to hand when it comes to interacting with people, handling food, etc. The reason lies in the traditional belief that the right hand is clean while the left is dirty. It also has connections to Hindu philosophy, which believes that the cosmos thrives in two opposites, the right and left. Right is considered straightforward, honest, impartial, compliant, and submissive, while the left is considered to be crooked, reverse, contrary, yet lovely, beautiful, and charming. Keeping all the philosophy apart, there are few gestures that you can exclusively assign to your right hand that would make your Indian friends happy. Try to eat with your right hand if you are planning to use hands in the first place. If you are asked to pass something, do it with your right hand. While receiving things too, try to use the right hand.
Please move.
If you are paying someone, try doing it with your right hand. Now, using your left arm is not going to get you killed. The simple explanation here is, using right hand adds respect to most of your actions. The right would be more preferable, that's all. The horizontal clap. Now, imagine if you are sitting in a group. Someone cracks a joke and you burst out laughing. Now, when you realize that the joke is outstanding and that you are going to laugh for a while, you can establish the same by doing this, the horizontal clap. The gesture can be performed by holding your hands horizontally with open palms and delivering a loud clap sound. You also have to sustain the posture for a few seconds. The gesture will make everyone around you understand that you are thoroughly enjoying the gathering. However, this may require some practice for absolute mastery. The clap masters usually sync their laughter sound with the clap. Some of them would start off with the laughter and then bring in the clap in between. Absolute masters will start off with a clap, make the wheezing sound for a bit, and then burst out into a monstrous laughter. The clap can also be performed when you realize that something bad has happened to someone you don't really like. It takes a bit of an effort, but if done correctly, it can help you become Indian in a split second. the "That's awesome" gesture. Hey, how's the movie? This gesture, where the point finger and the thumb touch while the other three fingers spread out, is the "That's awesome" gesture. It's performed with the hand raised to one's face level and a back and forth movement of the palm before it settles. It can be used to say things like, "That's really nice." "You're looking fabulous." "The food is fantastic." Depending upon the facial expression, the gesture can be interpreted differently too. A sarcastic way to use the gesture will be to have a deadpan face while the gesture is performed. The slower the movement of the hand, the more the sarcasm. The stop gesture. This is the simplest of the lot. Just extend your palm at someone to tell them stop. It's important to keep a straight face while doing this, or else it can get confused with the Indian gesture for bless you. You can use it when someone is going on arguing and you want to piss them off further. It can also be used to tell someone to calm down. With a slightly bent arm and a faster hand movement before halting is the intense version of the stop gesture. The stop gesture, followed by a namaste on the forehead, literally means please stop and leave me alone. These are just 10 among thousands of gestures that you will find in India. Before you make your next trip, make sure to master these, for they'll be of immense help where even language will not be of any.